Check, check. Hello everyone. Turn the screen off. Hopefully the connection's better this time. I think I switched the error I had last stream. Sup Brandon, Tanko Wolf, Cyber Scorpio, OP Hawk, and Robert. How's everyone doing? We got the Skorne again. Gonna definitely paint a lot of gold in the stream tonight. And let me know if everything sounds alright and looks alright with the stream. I'm still always in a constant state of troubleshooting. Alright, so off camera today, I cleaned up some like seam lines and flash and stuff. So there's definitely some paint that needs to be touched up, which is totally fine. It's a piece I missed there. So, and I think all I'm gonna do before I move on to the gold is, because the gold's gonna be messy enough, I will have to go back and tidy up other spots anyways, probably. So I think I'm just gonna block out where the green gems are gonna go, and then we'll do the gold. So just the wet palette for the first little bit, and then gotta switch over to just the slab of plastic that I use as a regular palette. Chillin' and snippin' sprues. Okay, thanks for letting me know the stream looks good, people. Appreciate it. And this stream should also be longer than the one I did last night. Hopefully I can get a lot of painting done. I'll take a quick break to grab a carbonated beverage at some point. Possibly might inhale a piece of pie, we'll see. So this green starts with a base of this sick green, which I've used a lot before. I might need to rehydrate the wet palette a bit first, which I just use one of these plastic boys for, and I just kind of squeeze a bit of water to the edges to make sure the wet palette doesn't get too dry. And then I kind of tilt the palette around to make sure the water gets to all the areas. There's a bit of overflow happening here, which is fine because I don't really have any big wet piles of paint on the palette. Like if there was wet paint here, it would have like maybe messed it up and spread stuff around where I didn't want it to go. I might have to go grab a pair of socks actually. But I'm gonna use a bit of that overspilled water just at the edge, just nearby this green, and I can just thin with it. What kind of pie? It's some butterscotch pudding thing. I don't know, Blue Parappa made it. She makes the baked goods and I consume them. Well, it looks like the changes I made to the camera settings are good. There's only a few areas that get the green gem. Possibly put a bit too much green on the palette, but that's fine. Yeah, and then we got the knee. I could have I only did a bit of cleanup on the seam lines because the seam lines are pretty bad on these minis. And I'm doing the tabletop level painting, so I'm like, I think I said it probably like 4 or 5 times last stream. I just explained the same thing of like, look, these are just miniatures from a unit of 10. They don't need all the attention in the world. Need to look at the reference mini for which gems get painted. Nothing really on the chest, I guess. Guess I can paint over that part with gold. And even like in here, the gem on the knee way back in here, I don't think I'm even gonna paint because you can barely see it in the first place. But there's the ones on the waist here that are worth painting. Got 12 viewers, nice. That's an improvement from last time. Thanks for coming, everybody. I don't think they have, I mean, they've got some on the forearm here. I believe I do those ones. I do 2 on the forearm. Right, and I need to remember to do the base coat of the tusk parts on the shoulder pads. Maybe I'll do that before the gold as well. Okay. Sup Bahamut and Mecha Geek and Damien. Jared Leto channel. This is a mini channel that Jared Leto lookalike runs. Thank you very much. I mean, lately that's been Morbius jokes, so I suppose it's refreshing to hear the Jared Leto one now and again. It ain't so bad being compared to someone that's a supermodel like Jared Leto, I suppose. He's kind of a weird person in general, though. I don't know if I want to be associated or like meet him in real life. That'll never happen, probably. We live in different worlds. We're too similar looking. If we ever meet in person, it'll be too confusing for everyone. It'll cause a time paradox. Sup MJRL hobby stuff. Do I paint the ones on the shin? Not on this one. What about the other one? Yeah, careful or I'm gonna morb all over this stream. I don't know about you all, but I didn't actually see Morbius. Right, yeah, okay, I'm not doing the feet ones or the chest one. Okay, I think that's this one done. I don't have to, Damien, I don't have to tell them that I'm Jared Leto. I've literally been in a club before, or in a lineup for a club, and overheard people in front of me in line whispering about, like, whether I was Jared Leto or not. It's doing bad things for my ego, let me tell ya. Yeah, I know they're funny, Bahamut. I put a joke about him in my last video. Does the mic sound too loud? I think I need to turn it down one notch here. Hopefully that's better. After work chillin'. I like some superhero stuffs. I don't like... There isn't anything I watch or read regularly though. Not as much as I used to. Yeah, I didn't see it either. Cyber Scorpio. I might know those, Robert, or Gundam Explained sounds kind of familiar. I don't know Midnight Hatter though. There's so much different Gundam stuff I've watched. It's hard to remember it all sometimes. Hopefully the mic sounds better now. Got a new mic too. I don't know if anyone noticed or if it sounds way better, but I think, or I had a fun time setting it up at least. It's always fun to upgrade a little bit of tech. Dominic, these are from a miniatures game called Warmachine and Hordes by Privateer Press. And these minis are from the faction called Skorne. They're like from a 10-man infantry unit. Or I'm painting just a handful from 2 different units. So some of them are like shield and spear guys, and some of them have 2 swords. And I'm just finishing up 2 units because there was 4 unpainted ones from 2 units. So 8 total. Just gonna move the camera a little bit for better. Yeah, now it'll be more centered, I believe. Do I need to adjust the focus point? Yes, I do. Alright, sorry about that shaky cam, people. I just had to stop the camera from doing some shenanigans. I need to write a reminder actually to check those recordings. Let's just make sure the camera's not recording. Alright. Yeah, Brandon, Privateer Press has always made paint. Under the paint brand is called P3. Gundam 5E. Is that like a Gundam Dungeons and Dragons supplement? I think I got all the green on this one. Yeah. Yeah, if you had asked me about my Skorne army last year, I would have said I just have a few like half painted things left, and then I have got it all painted and it's done. But since then I bought like a couple blister packs of one like metal model unit that I'll build eventually. So the Eternal Army project stays alive. I don't care if anyone says Warmachine and Hordes is a dead game, I disagree. Or I suppose I do care if someone says that. If someone says that, then I would say they're wrong. It's just had some rough patches. I mean, it's still up to the company itself, privateer press supporting it, but they're literally like showing some new models that are coming out this week, so it's just a question of what your local groups are up to, I guess. I suppose there's a lot of people that just never play at the store and just only play at home as well, which is cool. And for the last couple of years, that's kind of been the only way to get a real life game, depending on your situation. Yeah, and there's a reason that like conversations about dead games are always happening in, you know, places like Facebook groups where usually the conversations aren't that productive anyways, or tend to get overly negative. After I streamed yesterday, I helped Blue Parappa work on her Crix Battle Box starter sets, so now she's got her Warcaster and one of the light bone jacks assembled, so tomorrow we're probably gonna finish those. And then probably like the worst part of the getting into Warmachine process is done, where you have to deal with the like pretty bad quality plastic of those starter sets from like 2016, the start of Mark III. That was before they made Mark III actually good. Starter box are still like pretty decent value though. I sure got my money's worth on mine. And it seemed like, or it definitely was a good way to start my Skorne army for the start of Mark III. I was doing Signar and Mercs at Mark II, so Mark III was a good chance to switch things up. Are you playing in a Gundam 5e D&D game, Robert? There's Robert R and Robert W, or it's two Robert W's in the chat, cool. Bahamut, are you talking about the Witch from Mercury? Because I really like the new designs that were teased this week, and I definitely want to watch it when it comes out. If you're talking about the new movie, Doan's Island, I also really want to see that, but it's not like, it only just released in theaters in Japan, so there's no proper like North American way to watch it yet, so I'm just patiently waiting. Oh yeah, well, you can tell me the idea, Dominic, but I don't think I have time for anything new, but go ahead and tell me. Yeah, that's right, Rob. Yeah, Bahamut, I'm pretty excited for The Witch from Mercury, I think, or I hope it's gonna be good. And I'm definitely... I mean, if I'm doing the smart YouTuber thing, I'll make some videos about those kits when I can get them, but I have no idea when that's gonna be. Might be a while still, which is totally cool. Gives me actual time to prepare. Yeah, there's a seam line there. Kinda want to fix that. I'll think about it when I'm done painting these green bits. Oh, sorry, the camera. I'm having trouble focusing the camera. Yeah, I like to do this green part before the gold, because then I can... It's easier to just clean it up with the gold. We'll clean up this bit that got on the red though. Yeah, I'm gonna just quickly fix that with the knife. Just this quick seam line I missed. Doing a really haphazard job of cleaning it here, because we're just speed painting here. Because it's a unit, or every unit paint is a speed paint. 90% of them are speed paints for me, at least, I think. Alright. Yeah, if Kuru Cruise releases in physical theaters, I'll definitely see it. Bahamut. Yeah, Dominic, I actually have plans to customize an Epion already. It's a commission though, so there's already kind of an idea for it, but you'll probably see me customize a Gundam Epion eventually. No promises on when yet. It's gonna be a while. That's pretty far down the pipe. Oh, that sounds exciting. Robert Westfall, good luck. Being a dungeon master is very fun. It's my favorite way to play D&D. Yeah, I've been waiting for the Master Grade Epion to come in, like with my local retailer, so I can buy it for a while still. It's like I had to get on the list for it. Alright, I already painted the green on this one, so I just got green on 2 more left. Then I'll paint the shoulder tusk things, and then it'll be gold time. The Gundam wing designs are all just so iconic. $14 viewers now, not bad. Welcome to any new people. It's been a pretty chill painting stream so far, I think. Planning on going pretty long tonight. For at least 2 more hours. A break here and there. Hopefully I can keep the camera in focus for most of that. I've got another commission I've been working on that's a real grade Zasabi kit bash. That one's not close to the painting stages yet, but when I do start painting that, I'll probably do some of that on stream because I'm not doing a video for it. Oh, that's nice that you could find it at a hobby store you actually went to. Thank you, Brandon. An RX-78 Master Grade's a good one to go for your... Was it your first Master Grade kit? And I don't see anything wrong with going for a master grade for your second one either. Yeah, Brandon, the Seraphon army is my first, like, proper army. So they're always, like, my first love when it comes to Warhammer Fantasy. More like Lizardmen, am I right? Be awkward if I accidentally got shot to paint onto my new mic when I was being careless with my hand there. I would just leave it and then just see how often in my streaming that I accidentally get paint on the mic and just develop a whole pattern across it. That'd be some artsy stuff. Okay, that's the green done, so I definitely put too much on the palette. As I always do. Whatever, if we have to wipe a bit up, it's no tragedy. So now we just need Thrall Flesh to do the shoulder pad tusk bits. And I can't remember if I do every single one. Well, looks like on these ones I do. Yeah, the real grade Sasabe was a pretty cool build. No, nothing wrong with being friends with a gunpla enthusiast. Oh, good choice for first army, Brandon. Hopefully you got one of those start collecting boxes or something, because those are really good value. Hopefully they don't stop making them anytime soon. There's lots of ways to get, like, extra models out of it, or like there's a ton of like really easy kit bashes you can do with the pieces you don't use with those models. Like there's a way to really min-max it to get to get a really good start to an army out of it. Sounds like a good local scene if they can provide you with a master grade. Yeah, this tusk is awkwardly kind of just touching the shield. This process will be pretty quick. Go ahead, Robert. Tamiya spray paint. I've never used the Tamiya spray paint. Did it get cloudy or something, or spray on a texture you didn't like? Was it those like tiny half cans? Oh yeah, there's a bunch of the same bot with a slightly different name kept showing up in the test stream last night. It hasn't showed up yet tonight, which is good. Fingers crossed it doesn't. Hopefully I didn't just jinx that. Oh, you mean the paint literally stinks like the smell. I get you now. And that's a solid Gundam dad joke there, Rob. My favorite metal band? That's a good question. I haven't listened to much metal lately. Maybe one of my favorites is definitely Maximum the Hormone. I feel like they're definitely metal. Baby Metal is pretty good too. I'm such a weeb. I just named 2 Japanese bands right off the top. I used to listen to a lot more metal like Mastodon and oh, there's this really cool German band I think called The Ocean. I can't quite remember. If you count some of Poppy's albums as being metal, definitely been jamming to some Poppy over the last year or two. Well, only like one album though, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one with Concrete. Yeah, I haven't used many spray cans at all recently, Bahamut. I've just managed to just do everything with the airbrush. Since I don't do much actual painting with airbrush, because I like my brushes. Your subscription is secured, Zoldorf. Oh, glad I answered correctly then. Yeah, Cyber Scorpio, someone asked me that yesterday too. I don't have any immediate plans, but it feels like as a proper Gunpla builder I should do one eventually. I think I said if there was a Perfect Grade Unleashed Zaku that was coming out, I would pre-order that one. So I didn't get the Perfect Grade Unleashed RX-78 because I just don't get that jazzed for the RX-78 design. But a Zaku, on the other hand, I'd build one of those in Perfect Grade, or a Barbatos. But a Zaku seems way more likely. But no immediate plans to do anything. I'm sure I'll do one eventually. Space and money is very tight for me right now. So I'm trying to just stick to stuff I already have in the backlog, so to speak. Is it unfortunate the brain damage, or unfortunate my finances you're talking about, Zoldorf? Which Gundam would Dundee take out to a dinner party down under? That's a good one. I'm sure that would be a cool kit, Bahamut, but I don't know if that'll happen with like the Verka Wing Gundam we got already. I feel like it makes sense there wouldn't be another Wing Gundam thing for a while. Plus there's that real grade as well. Metallic medium. Yeah, I have a bottle of that, Zoldorf. I haven't used it in airbrush ever though. I just use it for like mixing colored metallics occasionally, or like for some metallic dry brushing because it's super bright and super thick. The Barbie. That one's also a solid Gundam dad joke. I think that the first one had a bit more dad energy in terms of dad jokes. Not that I'm an expert. Don't play Fortnite, bruh moment. So I can't answer that. I actually put the right amount of tan on the palette, unlike the green, which I'm gonna have to wipe up some of the excess. Mostly because I know the gold stage is gonna take long enough. If I leave that green paint on the palette too long, it'll just turn into a soppy mess. Okay, last one. Master Grade 2.0 of God Gundam or Master Gundam, that would be pretty crazy. At least we're getting the real grade God Gundam. Yeah, Zoldorf, it's easy for the non-airbrushers to get forgotten, but hence, or that's why I think my videos have gotten the views they have. People are eager to see other people paint Gundams with brushes. But even I still acknowledge the power of the airbrush, and I'm fortunate to be able to use one in a limited amount. It's too bad, in like, I know in Korea and Japan, they'll have more like communal spaces where you can like rent a desk and have access to like proper like airbrushing spaces. I know there's lots of those in South Korea, and I'm assuming Japan as well. It'd be cool if those like became a thing in North America too. Maybe they are in certain metropolitan areas, but not where I am. Like, I live in an apartment, but thankfully I've got just enough space to have a decent like model or hobby space. Well, I guess it's like not a hobby for me because of the YouTube, but it's like, yeah, it's a good studio. I mean, studio is the word I'm looking for. I'll probably end up doing another studio tour in a video by the end of the year, since I did one last year. It definitely looks a lot different already. I don't know how interested people are in that kind of content though. Alright, and I am regrettably going to wipe up some of the green off this palette, just because the gold stage is going to take so long if I leave this much green. It'll just become a mess. Yeah, Tinko Wolf, that's one of the 2.0 master grades I think I've heard more people ask about. Maybe it's more likely to happen. The original master grade for that one's pretty old, so it definitely deserves it. What show are you talking about, Bahamut? Just catching up on all these messages. I'm working on these miniatures, bruh moment. Okay. Now it's gold painting time. I'm gonna switch over to a synthetic brush. And we gotta switch over to just the slab of plastic card that is the, I guess you would call it a dry palette. Or just a palette. Go to one of my all-time most used colors. It hasn't always been Glorious Gold, but I've been using Glorious Gold for a while and similar golds on multiple armies. Oh, G Gundam, yeah, I know what you mean. It does get kind of dark. It's an underrated show. I slept on it for too long. Just put that over there. I'm glad you like studio tours, OP Hawk. Oh, there's paint just spilling out of the top of this. Crazy. Oh, I don't want to waste it. Gotta cap that. Alright, we don't have the luxury of the wet palette, so we gotta work before this stuff dries. We got a brand new crispy Citadel brush here. It's gonna get stained with paint real bad because it's this like white clear stuff. It's been a while since I've painted with this gold. Feels nice. Well, let's start with the shield, I guess. Well, since one of you said you like studio tours, that's enough confirmation I need to do at least one more of those this year. I'm sure I can find a way to work it in. So when I'm painting the gold, I tend to like go along the whole rim first and then fill in the details in the middle. And if I can, since I'm going for speed, I can like, alright, try to focus on painting it on thick enough that I only need to do one coat in most parts, which I can usually get away with depending on the section I'm painting. But there'll definitely be lots of mistakes I'll have to go back and fix. Like on these thin parts down here, it definitely takes a bit more concentration. And if I mess up a little bit, like I know the other ones I've painted for this unit definitely aren't perfect here. It's like they just have to look good from a distance because you're going to be playing an intense game with them and you're not going to be inspecting all the mistakes in the paint job when you're rolling to see whether they like kill the other team or not. Kill the other unit they're charging into or taking a charge from. So I'm gonna have to spend more time concentrating in the stream now, and I'll just have to like go back and check the message, or like when I take a break to rest my eyes, I'll check through the messages. Or when the paint runs out on the brush. But I gotta be speedy because the paint just spewed out of the bottle. Now there's a lot on the palette. I want to use it before it dries up. So far I haven't gotten that rusty in painting the gold trim on these shields, at least it seems. Yeah, I haven't seen Seed either, Bahamut. The designs are good though. Tenko, I would say think vertically. Think how you can save space by like mounting things up on the wall or stacking things in a way that they can still be utilized. That's always a good tip, I think. Perfect grade strike freedom, nice. Yeah, Cyber Scorpio, that's just because I'm doing a bad job of keeping it, or keeping the mini in the right place. I'll try to keep my eyes on it more, though I understand it looks pretty bad on your end when you see it. Yeah, there's plenty of good seed kits out there, but it seems like it's just not a show that was watched as much as Gundam Wing or Iron-Blooded Orphans. Or 00. I'm sure I'll watch them eventually. Me and Blue Prep, I have the like P-Bandai set that has the Freedom Gundam and the one of the Strike Gundams, and you can set them up in a fancy like scene recreation where one is stabbing the other with through the chest with a big sword. And then I like watched the scene that was of the anime on YouTube. Yeah, so there's some spots on this shield I messed up that I'm gonna have to go back and fix later, but that'll be in a whole different stage of painting because that's gonna happen on every model. So yeah, I watched that scene with those two Gundams without context, so. I don't even know who the pilot to the Buster Gundam is, because my pilot for the Buster Gundam is Jack from Jak 3. And Dexter. Yeah, so this part of the green gem's a little more annoying to paint. You can see I'm making some mistakes that I'll have to go back and fix after, like I said. Is the thing I'm painting an orc, Robert? No, it's from they're like a faction of humanoids called the Skorne. They're like desert people. I see you're talking about some customization there. P-Bandai is always a tough pill to swallow over here and outside Japan. Well, I did the shield, so I guess I'll just work out from there. Oh yeah, I need to do the side of the shield. Hopefully the camera autofocus is better. And like I could go in and paint that band in there, but I painted the other side. I think I'll just quickly, yeah, and I can touch up the black easy enough. And then once I get all these colors on and all the mistakes fixed, there's only a really basic amount of highlighting that gets done, and then the rest of the work is done with Army Painter strong tone shade. It just does wonders with red and gold, I tell ya. My brush control, well, I've painted so much gold trim, I just get used to it, you know? Yeah, don't inhale that resin dust, you gotta protect yourself. Oh, hey, Leonel, thanks for coming. Sorry, I almost missed you there. To refresh myself on what I did on that bicep armor on the other ones. I can't remember how much of it I left red. And it doesn't show that much on here. What about the other one? Okay, I left some of it red. Guess I'm kind of just improvising. Oh, I forgot to paint the tusks on this one. There should still be some on the palette. I can just quickly take care of that. Thanks to the power of a wet palette. Actually, I'll do that after I use up the gold. That's a better idea. Well, thanks, Ethan. Thanks for checking out the stream. How to get basic adventure miniature group like Paladin, Mage, Archer? Are you talking about like miniatures? Where, like how to buy them, where to get them? That's when you're looking for a generic D&D. Oh, sorry, I just bumped the mic. When you're looking for generic D&D stuff, if you have a local store to go to, like miniatures like that are pretty popular, so you're bound to find something there. Or sometimes, like, if you have a local game store that has miniatures, a lot of the times they'll also be selling, selling used models. And a lot of time people just, like, trade in big, like, collections. Oh, Leonel Builds. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. I saw the notification in the chat, it just hasn't, yeah, there it is. I was like, I went and programmed the specific sound effect and everything. I hope it plays. So thanks again for that super chat. Robert, there's a YouTube channel called Terrainosaur. They only have one video really, but it's a really good video about painting with tremors because the guy running the channel has tremors and he like shows a few different examples, so I would check that out. And like I prop my elbows on the desk and use this painting handle and sometimes like brace my hands together, but that only works for like, that doesn't work for everybody. Some people like prefer different painting postures, just like how not every office chair like works for the same person. You kind of have to like figure out what ergonomics work best for you. Oh, P-Hawk, thanks for the $20 super chat. Wow, 2 super chats in a row, crazy. What have you started, Leonel? If you mean for Gunpla, I don't know, the painting techniques I use when I'm doing Gunpla are the same ones I use with painting miniatures, so they're kind of the same for me. I will keep rocking Leonel, thanks to you, and OP Hawk. Well, hey, between your two super chats, you've given me like way more ad revenue than my last video has, I think. I mean, I haven't like calculated it, but it's been doing well. But I'm no Mr. Beast. I'm not like raking in the ad revenue bucks. So the super chats are extra impactful. And I suppose I have. Or like every channel or most channels have access to super thanks now, the like comment version of a super chat. I've only gotten one of those from Otaku Builder, which was fun. So he unlocked that achievement, so to speak. The stream overlay like chat description of the super chat's good because it just says Shiba dog in samurai armor waving a banner saying #1 and Shiba dog clapping his hands. Yeah, and there's a bit of a skin forming on the gold paint that's on the palette because I squirted a bit too much on there. And it's been on there for a while. Thanks, Anubis. Oh, your first one. Still have your Menoth army. Nice. You should keep that army forever. How big of an army is it? I don't know about you all, but when the gold paint flows from the brush to the mini, it's like extra satisfying because it's gold, you know? It's like slightly harder to work with, but painting on the like shiny gold paint is just a little more fun or a little more entertaining. A lot of the detail on like the leg sculpt is like really messy and hard to pick out though. If all you've ever built is Games Workshop, like modern Games Workshop models, you don't know how good you have it. Wow, a third super chat. We're getting a snowball effect with those. Thanks, Ethan. I will keep doing what I love. Applying gold paint. Yeah, I believe I've been painting their shoes gold, right? Yeah, sorry, I definitely bumped the mic again there. Yeah. Skorne. Desert colors game, so like tan or brown armor instead of red armor. Good choice picking Skorne, by the way, I approve. 60 to 100 minis, yeah, that's a solid army for Warmachine and Hordes. It's like, I like that mid-size for games where it's like not quite a full Warhammer Fantasy army, but you're not playing a skirmish game either. Warmachine and Hordes is like good for that size. Unless maybe they'll update the game soon and change it to like Mark IV where there'll be more points values. Yeah, messed up on some of that intricate stuff. Yeah, Ethan, I'm gonna try and do more streams. Thanks for coming by. How do I plan out gun color schemes? I rarely draw out the color scheme, but I have done that on Photoshop a couple times. Sometimes I just figure it out in my head. I don't like copy color schemes often, but sometimes I'll go with the like original or like anime color scheme and just change a couple things. Especially I'll do that if there's like a certain like color of the pieces that I'm not gonna paint and I'm just gonna leave as is, like if it's a certain kind of metallic that looks good. And when it comes to doing the like chest details here, you can almost do it in like a kind of dry brushy way. Yeah. Hopefully like this is like picking up all right on camera. And hopefully the like autofocus movements aren't too distracting. And there's a reason I did this gold before I like tidied up all the like damaged paint from earlier, because I knew that there would be a bunch of like gold paint mistakes I'd have to tidy up as well. That's just how it goes when you're painting this much gold trim, I find. Or when you're painting a whole unit that has it, at least. Whoops. Definitely got a bit of extra there. Yeah, we'll just have to fix that later. All right, the other... Okay, I think... Oh, okay, I have a few parts left on this still. I'm just using up the rest of this gold paint on the palette, because I think I remember to do the shoulder tusks on that one. Yeah, it's easy to do too many colors, Bahamut. I haven't built any Zoid kits since I was a young boy. They're a little out of my price range. I like watching seeing other people do them. Yeah, the Circle Orboros looks cool. This part on the wrist, I know I just do that solid gold. Robert, if you're like talking about sending me any kind of model kit, you're welcome to like make a donation via that way, in the same way as like, you know, doing a super chat or a Patreon thing, but I can't like commit to doing any builds out of it. I can like accept it as a donation, but I got too much stuff in the works to commit to any specific builds. But either way, I appreciate the thought. I'm glad I could hit you with the Warmachine and Hordes and the Gunpla Anubis. Oh, thanks, Leo. I'm always worried about that. It was hard to strike the balance between too many gimmicks and not enough gimmicks. And yeah, it's nice to have to already be a camera nerd, so like I already had the nice camera to use for the setup with my Fujifilm. 5-star stories? That sounds kind of familiar. What is it? That sounds like some good potential in your backlog there, Anubis. Volk's IMS kits, I think I know that. Yeah, Robert Westfall, if you had any more questions about that stuff, that you can like message me on Instagram or Twitter about it. But it's like I said before, I just got too much stuff I'm already responsible for that I can't take on anymore, like specific projects. I did mention commissions before though, so I guess I haven't like put that in my Instagram bio yet, but I suppose because I've started some commissions now, commissions are open. But that's something more for just reaching out to me or sliding into my DMs, not the live stream chat. I'll like change my bio on Instagram to reflect that eventually when I'm ready. I don't want like too many inquiries to come in that'll overwhelm me. The Knight of Gold, the cog, that sounds fun. Purple and gold, that's good. I mean, if you want to send me an image to look at, you can use the messaging in Instagram or Twitter, and I'll respond when I check, because I don't check. I try not to spend too much time in those apps. But you know, people have sent me pictures of their Gunpla stuff there before. Yeah, Anubis, my Signar was my first faction, and I changed the blue to purple, and that was the main. Other than that, I like mostly stuck with the box colors. I guess I kind of did my own thing with the metallics, but I just wanted some purple because it goes well with that yellow swan. Oh, Word file. I'm not sure what I'd do with that. Sounds like something that's a little deep for me to get into right now with all the other stuff I got on my plate. Yeah, the battle boxes are cheap and cool. Even if the quality of their plastic leaves a bit to be desired. As I've rediscovered lately. Oh, sorry, the camera was out of focus there. Oh, sorry, Leonel Bales. I missed your message about the music. I'm glad you think the music's on point. I had to, like, that's the thing I've probably had to tweak the most on the streaming. Because of a couple, like, false claims made against it. The kind of false claims where as soon as you, like, look at the person making the claim against you, you're like, wow, this is like a bot. And you definitely don't have the original rights to this song. And then, you know, you contest the claim and win. So it's like, well, I guess I was right. That was just annoying to deal with. But, you know, when it happens on a stream, it's not that big of a deal. Like, when the stream's over, I unlist it, so whatever. Because YouTube doesn't have a good way of making your channel layout have, like, a different tab for live streams and main channel videos and shorts. Not that I've made any shorts, but I've heard a lot of people complain about how they just kind of clutter your main channel video feed, which I totally get. For me, it's just another excuse of like not having to bother with making any shorts. Maybe that's harmed my growth in some way. I don't have any regrets though. Well, I think the gold on this one is done, which is a good spot because gold on the palette is done. Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at the stream that happened last night, there was that bot. I mean, to tell you the truth, it was probably like the other channels that made the claim. It was probably some automatic thing they had running that detected when I used one of the same songs they did. It was a while ago. That hasn't happened. And you know, if it happens again, I'll deal with it. It'll just be a minor annoyance again, probably. Missed a bit of... Yeah, if you leave a comment, I'll read it eventually. I don't know what it is you're posting, but, you know, I'll give it a read. I can commit to reading a comment. I can at least commit to that. Can't commit anything past that. I mean, it feels like the painting is just slowed down like 4 times after just quickly doing the green gems and the tusks. And then working on the same model for like a very long period of time because it's got all the gold trim. Speaking of that tusk, I'm just gonna go and get that done on this one real quick. What time we're at? We're an hour and 50 in a stream. I don't know if it's early enough to take a break to get a drink. Probably the hour and a half mark. Should at least start the gold trim on the next one. And this paint is gonna be a little thin now, just because it's been sitting on the palette. I mean, the bad luck hasn't shown up for this stream with the bots yet, Brandon. But so far, they haven't found me yet. We like reported them enough on the stream last night that they're too scared to come back, maybe. I don't know. There's been like slightly more people watching the stream tonight, so more people to report them if they show up. Bo, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 8 in this batch. There's a unit of like the 2 sword wielding ones, and then a unit of the shield and spear ones. Both the units have, I guess when you include the command attachments, they've got 12 models in each unit. And I'm just finishing off those units with this batch 8. I'm not gonna be able to finish them tonight. I got so much gold trim to do still. I think I had a conversation with someone in the stream last night about how when it comes to painting batches of minis, it's like the 5 to 10 range is kind of the sweet spot for me. If I'm painting a batch that's more than 10 models, like unless they're really simple like a skink, it's like it feels too tedious and it's harder for me to get things done. It's like I work better when it's less of a batch, you could say. Yeah, well, if you're afraid of like a bunch of like tiny pieces, Anubis, like Master Grade Barbatos, especially on his inner frame and stuff, has a few like complex sections with the pistons and stuff, but it's a really good Master Grade. So if you can like, if you're not afraid of like dealing with lots of small pieces and the build taking like a little bit of time, it's a super nice model kit, super good value. It's definitely, that's like what I'd say if it's your first Master Grade. Like if you've already done one Master Grade, you can definitely handle Barbatos. Spelled with the turn A symbol. Yeah, your 30 cannon fodder. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a batch as big as 30. I think the highest or the largest batch I've ever done has probably been 12 or something. Alright, let's start the gold on the next one for a bit, and then I'll go grab a quick... I'll go inhale a piece of pie and get a drink. Well, I do like me some mecha, Robert. Yeah, if you're like coming from the miniatures sphere, there isn't that much to be afraid of with Gunpla, thankfully. When you say cannon fodder, Bo, was that your guardsmen? They seem like pretty quintessential cannon fodder. Thanks, Leonel. 40 goblins. Yeah, at least green's a easy color to paint, and goblins are usually pretty easy to paint in general. I think that was one of the first like big view videos that Brent from Goobertown Hobbies got, was his like video where he does a batch paint of 100 goblins or something. I definitely watched that, and it was good. And they had a bunch of yellow on them too. Yeah, this like area of the black with the gold trim is probably one of the harder spots, or probably one of the hardest spots. Yeah, definitely making some mistakes there. Hopefully the camera focus isn't too off. Oh, what's that? A 4th super chat? Crazy. Thank you, Anubis. Appreciate it. I think that I think after the last super chat at 3, we broke the record for number of super chats I've had on a stream. So now we definitely have at 4. Right? Good work, everybody. Such a profitable stream. Wow. And I wasn't planning on making any money off this stream. Though I guess monetization was turned on by default, so that's a lie. I was planning on maybe making a few cents at least. Oh yeah, Midwinter Minis. He's pretty good at coming up with really efficient paint schemes. He's one of the, or he's got like good videos in general about like cheap hobby hacks and that kind of stuff. Or just efficient painting. How to actually get entire armies painted in a reasonable manner. Don't even remember if I got into all the nooks and crannies when I was painting the last shield. And if anyone was wondering, I will get back to painting some Gunpla stuff on stream eventually too. That Vidar Batos project is still a whip, of course. You got super chat. You got jump scared by the super chat noise. Yeah, it jumps on you that way. Oh, that's nice that Mantic has some good sculpts. 1 speed and 1 standard. Alright, Robert, well thanks for hanging out in the chat when you did. Appreciate it. If you need to leave to get some sleep, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, 6 feet away. That's a good rule. That's definitely what I'm shooting for with this unit. Could wet blend some shading on this shield, but not with this unit. Oh well, I'm honored, Anubis. I'm glad I could be your first one. I remember it took me a while to like find a. I think the first donation I made was to like a YouTuber I really liked, Sanosuke. Big inspiration for my painting style. Now for a unit to speed paint, these like Skorne models are not like, they're just not the easiest models to speed paint just because of the nature of the sculpts, but you know, once this trim is all painted up, it looks pretty cool, so I enjoy spending the bit of extra time. You know, so they can have these pristine, bejeweled shields to go into battle where they'll get very battered up. It's a lot easier to speed paint when you're doing like a dirty, weathered kind of look. But I guess I like things to look pristine a lot of the time, what can I say? Man, chat's been so supportive and wholesome today, and no bots. Gotta love it. The more gold trim, the less you like it. Yeah, hence why I'm half this unit has been sitting unfinished for a while. Well, the other parts of the unit were painted back when I did a painting challenge video, fall 2020, but that was for a brawl machine list, so didn't have to, or only did half-size units, which was a blessing at the time. Sorry about the camera focus there. Yeah, I don't really like the design of the armor at the back here with these kind of like wavy plates. It's not the most enjoyable thing to paint. But the coolness of the rest of the armor makes it okay. Yeah, Bo, these are for the Skorne faction in Warmachine and Hordes. My favorite miniatures war game, I think. Oh, I think, yeah, it's probably safe to say it's my favorite. It's definitely the one I've played the most games of. By far. As much game time as I've spent playing Total War Warhammer 2, though, hard to say. I mean, if you combine my Warmachine and Hordes gaming time with my painting time, it's definitely more than Total War Warhammer for the PC. Well, I'll just keep using up the paint that's on the palette, and then when that's done, I gotta take a quick stretch refreshment break. But I definitely want to make it to at least 3 hours tonight, so we're about halfway on that. And I probably won't be able to finish all the gold trim by then. Or maybe I will, we'll see. That'll be a lot of dang gold trim. Welcome to painting Skorne. Slash a bunch of other models. Menoth has some pretty ornate gold trim. P3 paints. Yeah, I like them a lot. the pots they use look like this, and I don't like the design of this pot at all. But the paints themselves, I really like their formula. They're nice and like smooth. Good for blending. Like especially P3 coal black. I've used that on so many different things. It's a really useful color. And of course, I've used sanguine base and Skorne red a lot, but I paint a lot of red things in general. I like the color red, what can I say? Yeah, I really like P3 paints. They might, I can't remember if they make new paint pots or not. I know like my local store, they've had the same supply for a while going, so theirs haven't been replaced yet. But I thought I saw pictures of new paint pots they had at like some stores in the US. I can't remember though, that was a while ago. They're still putting out miniatures, and I don't know how many new paints they've released recently, but I'm pretty sure they're still like supporting their line of paints because it's a good line. And I've seen other like miniature painters use them, like Ninjon. Yeah, P3 has a matte medium that they sell in their range too, so I'm sure it works well with that technique. Their medium is it's just called mixing medium though, so I don't know if it's like matte medium technically. It probably is. I know that's like a pretty common thing for people to use. I feel like I missed some chest detail on this one. Yeah, I did. I'm just gonna get in there real quick. Sorry, this part's kind of hard to see on camera. Alright, anyways. Yeah, droppers are the best. Alright, thanks Robert, have a good one. It's hard to get all that collar detail. Yeah, the P3 pots aren't great, but I would agree that they're still better than GW paints. I haven't had a P3 paint go bad on me, although I haven't had like any P3 paints in my collection as long as I've had GW paints. Alright, we're almost out of paint on the palette here. Let's just grab this tail section here. Yeah, well, Games Workshop products being overpriced is just a given, whether they drive fast or not. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick refreshment break. And I'll be gone for like less than 5 minutes, hopefully. But I'll put the Holden screen up anyway, so be right back, people. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully I didn't lose anybody. We're still at 11 viewers. Oh, 4. As soon as I look at the screen, it jumped down to 4 viewers. What did you talk about while I was gone? 2 Demios pattern rhinos, though. That sounds like a Horus Heresy thing. I'm not getting into Horus Heresy, but it looks neat from a distance. I would play the Salamanders if I did play. I think they're my favorite Space Marine faction. Just a coincidence that the Monster Energy Marines are also green. Okay, now we're back to 9 viewers. Anyways, here's a can crack ASMR. Hopefully that didn't blow anyone's speakers. And hopefully I kept to my promise of not being gone for more than 5 minutes. And we're just gonna get right back into the gold, I suppose. We broke the record of super chats on this stream. Will we also break the burp record? I don't know. I can't remember what the burp record is. I want to say it's like 5. But it's kind of annoying how this pot always has like a bit extra that comes out at the end. Oh yeah, I bet they are, Bo. Gotta pay good money for that extra religious paraphernalia. And flamethrowers, I'm assuming. I don't know, I'm not a Sisters of Battle player. Sisters of Battle. Alright, there's burp 1. How many people am I gonna lose from that burp? I'm totally fine if people don't like the ASMR clacks on my videos and skip them, so I can't get mad at people for not liking me burping right in front of a mic. It's part of my brand, isn't it? No, I didn't even burp in my latest video. I've probably said before on stream that I don't like to burp in every video because then it would get old. Burp 2. Hopefully the burps at least sound better with the mic upgrade I've gotten. So how bad has everyone been missing the live streams? Have you just been waiting this whole time for me to finally fix my internet and get back to it? Or is this like the first time you ever seen me live streaming? It's always been something I've tried to just keep a casual thing I do when I can. I feel like having, you know, weekly or bi-weekly is a place I'd like to get to eventually. This is only my second one, like, back doing it again, so I'm planning on doing another one in a few days or so, some evening during the week. I'm not gonna do one tomorrow. And, you know, there'll probably be periods of time where I don't do live streams for a bit because I'm like down in the editing cave, doing my thing. Living that YouTube life. Yeah, I try and keep the swears from happening on the streams. With the bot that showed up to the stream last night, the chat wasn't safe for work, but that wasn't my fault. Yeah, I know you like those live streams, Bo. So you can kind of see that part. I was worried the spear was blocking the view. There's not much to tell, Bahamut. They're just a bot with like a inappropriate name. That you would see in like a red light district, I suppose. Or the bot just came across as like a sleazy ad you would see. In a seedy part of town. I'm just trying to keep my language appropriate, you know? I don't want the other bots to detect what I'm saying and flag the stream or something. I don't know how all the bots work, it's a secret. As many as time permits. Yeah, that's the one way to describe my plan. Sometimes, you know, the project I'll have to work on for a deadline, I'll be able to work on it on stream, and sometimes, you know, I'll want to work on it completely off camera. Or sometimes I'll have to, like, be working on it, filming it for a regular channel video. It's like a decent mix of people subscribe to me that like enjoy the live streams, and some people don't really watch them and would rather I just have more main channel videos. But you know, ultimately I want to be able to just do both when I want to. We almost yeah, almost done the gold on this one. So it's kind of hard to see when I'm painting a lot of these parts on the inside. But I think we can call the gold on this one done for now. Yeah, the bots, their Twitch is too good at detecting them now. They're moving to the YouTube live streams now. Oh wait, I need to do... oh, that was like half burp 3. That'll count as burp 3. I kind of just let it out without thinking of declaring it as a statement. Burp 4, I should just burp out 4 as I do it. Right, the spear. Sorry about that autofocus jump in there. Oh, it's having a hard time focusing on that spear. Well, we're done now anyways. Nice, glad I could provide some motivation, Anubis. Yeah, Anubis, it definitely seems like YouTube doesn't have their priorities straight lately. But I'm just a boy with 10,000 subscribers. What can I do but just put my head down for this humble live stream and wait for them to figure it out. Yes, the removal of the dislike button. That definitely made it clear that they're not just listening. They're not listening to the people that really matter. But of course it didn't come as a surprise to most of us. What can you do though? It's the platform everyone's at. Gotta at least thank them for keeping that alive this long. I don't know if I believe that they're like still in the red with like running YouTube as a business anymore. I'm starting to question that a bit, but there's still like no way for me to really know. At least the YouTube partner program pays a lot better than the way TikTok monetizes their stuff. I think a lot of TikTok creators rely a lot more on brand deals, probably, is my guess. Oh yeah, this black section of the shield, I tell ya, it's never pretty. I hope you all find the painting of all this gold trim as satisfying as I do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to do so much of it. That's right, Bo. Burp. Ah, crap, I was supposed to say burp 4 as a burp. Okay, maybe I can remember for burp 5. Yeah, you're not the only one preparing for that, Bahamut. At least at the end of the day, it's about painting the models for me, and the YouTube is just the platform. I'm sure I could find another way if YouTube was gone. Well, regardless of me and my content, if YouTube disappeared somehow, like, someone else would take their place. It's just a matter of time. And whoever gets control of all the infrastructure to handle that mass amount of data on the internet tubes. Yeah, well, Susan's just the face that's put to it all. I have no idea how much actual power she has in making the decisions that have made everyone so angry, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of people angry at her. Yeah, I could try Dailymotion or anywhere else, but you know, for now, YouTube is still here, so I'll just keep going with my plan and hope it just works out. I'm still like in that small channel purgatory zone, so no one's like, the attention isn't all on me, or like the chances of some big like YouTube controversy happening to my channel are pretty low, I hope. By YouTube controversy, I mean like my channel getting treated unfairly somehow. Yeah, Bahamut, it seems like YouTube's the only one that can just handle the vast amounts of data that's uploaded and streamed from YouTube. Like, it's so much content that it has to be, you know, someone like Google who can have the systems in place to manage all that. I mean, there's an argument to be made that they aren't doing a good job managing YouTube as well. It's like a very difficult task. So I have some sympathy for the people that work on that stuff. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't hold them to task and call out YouTube and their bad practices as well. Maybe the vast amount of content uploaded to YouTube isn't sustainable in the first place. Maybe maybe there needs to be upload limits placed on every YouTube channel. Be like, all right, no more daily vlogs. That's just excessive. Every channel is only allowed one upload a week. Unless you're Philip DeFranco or someone who gets special treatment, then you're allowed to do more. Nah, that would put way too many channels out of business. If you're only allowed one upload per week, there's so many channels that just have like such a efficient content pipeline going that they've just been putting out multiple videos a week for years. Yeah, that's the problem. There's too many different kinds of YouTube content out there to regulate it in any way like that. Not that it should be regulated, really. I suppose like the freedom of it is why a lot of people like it and use it. Valrak? Is that Chapter Master Valrak, I assume? I'm rusty with my 40k lore, you'll have to explain that one. I don't remember when I started the gold trim exactly, but I feel like it was a while ago, and I've only finished the two models out of 8. It's such a drastic change in pace from all the painting I was doing before. Oh, that guy. Yeah, okay, I've watched some of his videos. Burp 5. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I don't... I've only watched a few Chapter Master Valrak's videos, but yeah, he seems like a pretty accomplished streamer. He's got a good collection of Space Marines to flex behind him on the shelves in his videos from what I saw. I probably watched some of his videos when there was like Games Workshop drama going on or something. I'm not immune to watching drama videos, or niche hobby drama videos, I should say. It's hard to resist that gossip. The high school drama and gossip never ends. Like, I mean, it never ends after you leave high school. The individual dramas themselves blow over pretty quickly most of the time. Yeah, Mark Rober, I think he's one of those YouTubers that's so big they can afford to spend, or like they can still survive if financially, if they like have a long time between their uploads. I only watch a little bit of Mark Rober's stuff, but yeah, he's definitely around that monthly mark. And you know, it shows in his videos. Some videos just, you know, you can tell by watching them that, yeah, this took a lot of time to make. Time and coordination and talent. Even doing a collab with one person can be a logistical challenge, let alone an entire team of people coordinating glitter bomb pranks or traps. Oh, yeah, Bahamut. I mean, there's arguments like that go on in every niche fandom. Good question, Bo. I mean, it would be awesome to collab with Studson. That's the problem when I think about collabing with anyone. I'm like, oh, they're probably too busy. because that's how I that's how I am. It's like I usually have too much stuff in the pipeline to like commit to anything new. But you know, in a hypothetical situation, it'd be pretty cool to collaborate with Studson. Or, you know, Brent from Goobertown. There's a lot of hobbyists I like to collaborate with. But I also like, you know, collaboration projects are a whole thing sometimes, and I think I prefer to work alone a lot of the time. It's like, but no regrets about doing my collab with Taz back then. I'd also do another collab with Plamo Therapist. Or, you know, Jetto Hobby would be cool. Would say Leonel and Kelga as well, but I know they aren't really making videos right now because they got other things going on. So there are other cool things outside the YouTube bubble. It's easy to forget. If I ever did a collab with Studio G, it would be something really jarring because he doesn't have talking in his videos, so maybe it'd just be his regular, you know, cinematic style build, and then I just burst onto the screen with some dumb joke and then leave. I don't like a lot of other Gunpla builders I like watching, like, you know, like, yeah, Otaku Builder, me and both our styles are pretty different, so if we're gonna collab, it's like, what do we do? Well, it's like the stuff we do is so different from each other. Collabs can definitely be pretty fun though. Unfortunately, where I am right now, I've got too much I'm committed to for these next videos I got planned. You know, I am recruiting, or I've got some people helping me for the battle report video because that's gonna be a big production. So I suppose that's a collab, but not with other YouTube creators. Yeah, they did illustrate in that video how much people don't like those scam call centers. I don't know, Adam Blue on Gundam explained. Sounds like, alright, feel like I have an idea of what that channel's like from the title. Yeah, different is good. If I was better at Japanese, I would want to collaborate with Sanosuke. That's not a lot of, or that ignores the whole being different part, though, that you said was good, Bo. Or I don't know if it counts as a collab, but I would love to, if I'm ever in his area of Canada, play a game on Ash Barker's channel, Gorilla Miniatures Games. If I could play a game, if I could like somehow get to Toronto, Burp 6, I think. Or if I could get to that like Greater Toronto area where I think that's where he's at, with my Gamma Wolves models, and play a game on his channel, that would be epic. Or it doesn't even have to be Gamma Wolves. It would just be cool to play a tabletop game with Ash Barker, you know? I feel like that counts as a collab. Or maybe I would need to have something on my channel too. Just some casual phone video. Be like, here I am playing a game with Ash. My first short. Yeah, if you can get the hang of using the hotkeys to edit the ASMR quick and efficiently, Bo, it can be pretty relaxing even. I find it relaxing sometimes, or I really get in the zone when I'm editing the clacks. Gluing all the panels now. I'm trying to glue less and less these days. Still gluing some stuff though. Alright, enjoy your snack, Bahamut. Oh, I see you're referring to those panels. Yeah, I wish I had more patience for removing seam lines. Anything related to sanding, I'm just like, oh, please. I want the least amount of that to do as possible. Even though I know it's so important. Alright, there's still a bit of gold on the collar there. I think that's all the gold on this one done. Maybe I'll do a sword one next. Well, hey, if the Xbox controller's broken and you gotta fix it, that's, you know, nothing wrong with that being your hobby project. Yeah, wet sanding, that was a thing I slept on for too long. It's weird, I don't remember cutting my finger there. I don't know if that's paint or blood. I'll just assume it's paint. Alright. Yeah, let's paint the gold trim on a sword one next and get a slight change of pace. Yeah, when it comes to removing seams on high grades, it's like it's like a lot easier to justify doing that on a high grade than it is a master grade. Or like it's more satisfying to do those like simple fixes to take it to the next level when you're like improving a basic kit. It's like when you build a master grade, it's like, oh, this is already pretty cool, I don't need to do much to it. But when you got a high grade, it's like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff I could do to this to really take it to the next level. Yes, the carpentry sanding. A different flavor of dust. Yes, I reluctantly went back and sanded a couple areas on these painted minis I missed. Hence why there's like some spots on the head that are the paint's chipped off. I'm like, well, if I do this now, like I'll be doing a cleanup stage after the gold anyways, so I might as well. So I was thinking about just a hypothetical tier list for my 7 Gamma Wolves mechs and how I would rate them. What are all of your favorite out of the Gamma Wolves mechs I've done? Any like top ones stick out to you? It's hard for me to decide because usually for me it's the most recent one I've done because that's the one that's like freshest in my mind and usually the one I'm the most hype about. But I'll be writing that Gamma Wolves retrospective script eventually and I'll have to seriously think about how I feel about them all. Man glitter. I know some people use sawdust as basing material if they're looking for like really cheap lights recipes for just infantry bases. Whoops. Wing Zero is your favorite? Yeah, the goof, the iconic goof, the one that started it all. I think, yeah, the goof is still definitely one of my favorite paint jobs out of all of them. My favorite kit bash might be Oxyotl. Yeah, that paint was too thin. It just ran into the recess I don't want it in. No, I don't have a Discord server, heck. I hang out in the Brush Coven Discord server occasionally, and the Gunpla Talk Show Discord server. But, I mean, I might have a dedicated Millennial Model Mayhem Discord eventually, but, not right now. I've got a bit on my plate. I don't have time to set up a Discord right now. And I haven't decided how I want to set up a Discord yet. Like, yeah. That's something I'm working on. Gotta develop Patreon a bit. Offer something. Or figure out something new to offer. Maybe it'll be a Discord, maybe it won't. There's a couple different forms that Discord could even show up as. Yes, exactly, Bo, because goof. Yeah, I think if you go to Gunpla Talk Show on their YouTube channel, you can probably find an invite link to their Discord server, or like that Brush Coven server, which is for miniature painting. It's like focused on miniature painting, or just painting, like improving your painting in general. You want to go to Teal Sekire on Twitch. There should be a link to join the Brush Coven server there. I think Lila Mev did a video recently where she mentioned the Brush Coven as well, so there might be a link on that. Yeah, I'm sure I'll need to get a magnifying lamp eventually, but I mean, the only reason I can do these guys pretty fast is because I've already painted like a bunch of this like exact sculpt, so I kind of like know which parts I need to like be precise in and which parts that I'll be able to rely on ink and washes to like bring out the detail. Like there's a unit for the Skorne, another unit of infantry that are kind of like these stone warriors. They're not like flesh humanoids. And they have a lot of gold trim as well, and I have 3 units of them, so I painted like 30. So when it comes to painting Skorne gold trim like this, I've done a lot of it. And a lot of it's pretty similar. So I've really learned where to, or like how to get the feel for it, I suppose. And how the gold paint behaves. Getting it to the right consistency. Because you really want to make sure you don't thin it too much. Sorry if the camera focuses all over the place. Yeah, Lila Mev is super talented. I believe I referenced her wet palette video in my how to paint video. And of course, your cat shows up in the videos sometimes, so that's always a plus. There's part of the sword there I forgot to trim off. I'll probably just go back and fix that near the end. That's for another session. You might have learned about her. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad my shout out for her worked then. I mean, it was a good video explaining how to troubleshoot your wet palette and just understand it in general. Oops, got a little out of focus there. Yeah, that's a problem with lots of subgenres too, or like I've heard a similar complaint about like the bigger creators having a monopoly when it comes to like left-tuber content. It's definitely a bit of a dilemma because the people at the top, they have big audiences and get a lot of views because they make objectively good content. But yeah, there's just so many other people that also deserve views. It's a problem with no solution that I can think of. I mean, the bigger channels themselves definitely have a lot of power when it comes to giving shoutouts to smaller channels and stuff like that, but it's also like feel weird saying that because the content creator life is already so busy with so much on your plate. To add another thing to that in general is like makes me feel bad. And it's also like, why do we have to rely on other creators to help support the smaller ones? Shouldn't it be like YouTube that's supporting them in the first place? You know, with every new YouTuber, it's like you also have to consider, it's like, is their they just got here, is their content like good enough to be worth promoting? Or are they just gonna upload one video and that's it? Don't get me wrong, the grind is like pretty cruel and unfair. But at a certain point, it's also, the competition is really harsh just because there's a lot of people competing in the first place. You know, YouTube's a big, massive platform. Lots of people want to succeed. Can you blame them for trying? And I'm certainly trying. Haven't given up or run out of money yet. Yet being the key word. And the support of smaller channels always makes you feel like you have more of an impact. Either way, people should support whoever they want to support. Whether they're big or small, it's up to them. Yes, but Lord Duncan needs our prayers. Or it needs us to remain pious and to use tooth and coats. I'm not doing that with this gold though, so I'm being a bit of a heretic. Out of conch, switch back to water. How do you find new channels? Huh? A lot of, not hobby channels, but new channels I've found on YouTube in general recently has been from like other creators sharing them on either Twitter or like YouTube community posts, I'd say. Usually when I discover someone new I like, it's from that or some kind of recommendation or something, rather than a random thumbnail I am enticed by on the sidebar that I click on. I try to be wholesome, Bo. Alright, thanks for coming by, Anubis. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Well, we're at 2.5 hours. Hopefully I can make it to 3. I'm at least gonna finish the gold on this one. At the very least, I gotta do that. I think the like minimum goal I wanted to hit tonight was 2.5 hours, but I was hoping for 3. But yeah, in general, I think sharing, like, people sharing videos, whether they themselves are a big channel or just some random person sharing outside of YouTube to Reddit, Discord, Facebook, whatever, like, if it's someone else sharing for the creator, that's like, that's the good stuff. That's the stuff we like to have happen. Because, you know, we can't post our own stuff to Reddit because that's self-promotion. And Reddit tends to have a strong reaction to that. But if it's someone else sharing our content, you know, out of their own volition, recommending it because they enjoy it, that's really helpful for creators. And obviously, like, if you have more followers, your share could have more impact, but I guess that also depends what you're sharing too. If you're like a big makeup or real estate influencer or something, sharing like a mini painter's like live streams, might not be that much audience crossover there for that to be effective. If you give someone a bunch of like new subscribers that won't watch the content, it doesn't really do much. Shoutouts are weird and complicated, or more complicated than you would think. Oh yeah, no, Duncan's been doing great for himself. He deserves all the success, especially considering Games Workshop seems like they just put him on a blacklist. If he's like not invited to the Horus Heresy event, like come on, invite Duncan. He deserves to have an advanced copy box sent to him so he can paint it and have it displayed. I mean, for him, like, he worked for Games Workshop for so long, I'm sure he's fine, you know, just doing his own thing. I don't imagine there's, like, massive beef he has with, like, a lot of the other employees there. From what I know, they left on good terms. Still, he deserves an advanced copy of that stuff. Seeing all those content creators getting brought to Warhammer World was cool and wholesome and everything, but, you know, I'd say Games Workshop, in my eyes, still kind of has, like, a bad reputation when it comes to their relationship with content creators. They might not have done a lot of, like, specific bad actions, but they've definitely, like, sent some concerning vibes our way over the last couple years. Maybe with this like latest Horus Heresy event that happened, though, things are getting better. We'll see. It's probably safe to say that like the Panini induced like tabletop games boom is probably like on the downward trend now. So they'll see like how many other new customers stick around and commit to the expensive plastic model game. And see how much of it was just hype. Yeah, I've been considering something like that, Bo, in the sense of like what Studson does with his patrons. He has like little art challenges that'll feature in his videos. Problem is, if I offered that, or it's like I don't have a consistent video release schedule, so I would have to offer that in a way where it's like wouldn't guarantee a certain number of, or like wouldn't guarantee of like when a video would come out. But I feel like people support me on Patreon would be understanding of that. Yeah, well, it could be worse, Bo. It could be like the situation with the people who had the people to get the early review copies of Total War Warhammer 3. Their NDA prevented them from like being overly negative in their reviews, so a lot of the community felt kind of misled about how buggy the game was going to be on launch. You know, reviewing a plastic set of miniatures is one thing, but reviewing like a complex game that you're gonna pay AAA game prices for, it was kind of lame that they weren't able to like really tell us how bad some of the bugs were gonna be, or like how janky some parts of the campaign were gonna be. With reviewing Games Workshop models, it's just like, yeah, it's expensive and it's a really good model. What else is there to say? Until you like get into, you know, the specific stuff about like what that actual model is. Like, you know, it's a Nighthaunt model, so it's very spindly and I'm worried I'm gonna break it. Or it's a Chaos model, so there's a ton of skulls on it. Some people love that, some people don't. Yeah, Tamiya doesn't exactly make any fantasy dragons from what I know. For Space Marines. Yeah, there's a lot less stakes involved in reviewing miniatures games related things. So I feel anyways. Yeah, well, the prices is a whole nother thing. If you want to feel good or bad about your collection, depending what's in your collection, just start comparing the prices of like master grades. Or like, look at the price of a master grade kit and be like, what Warhammer could I buy for this same amount of money? Oh yeah, and Bo, I think I misunderstood your last message about that stuff. I'm working on getting some more wallpapers ready for Patreon. And that commission I've been working on. Once I get some more photos done of that, I'll get those will be put on Patreon first as early access stuff. I don't have time to make a dedicated video on other hobbyists I like. I know Miniac did a video like that. It seems like, or like doing a dedicated video for that will be more worth it when I have more subscribers, because then like the boost I'll be giving to other people will be more impactful. I mean, I did do that in my how to hand paint Gundam video, because it's how I learned, so I figured I would share as relevant videos myself. I had more recommendations that in the script also that I cut out just because the video was getting too long. But you know, the most important ones were in there, like Marco for Sony's brush maintenance, the glazing, the wet palettes. I mean, we're really spoiled when it comes to painting tutorial content on YouTube. There's quite a variety to pick from. Yeah, Chaos Space Marines are pretty cool. Funnily enough, I haven't really painted any proper Chaos Space Marines. But, if I was doing the, like, classic black color scheme, I would definitely be able to... I would have no problems with doing that gold trim. That's my comfort zone. Or one of my comfort zones. It all started with the Lizardmen, because they got, not necessarily, like, as trim, but they have a lot of gold details to paint. If I was to pick a specific Traitor Legion, I suppose it would be the Emperor's Children. Just because I like the Slaanesh stuff. Send me to horny jail if you feel it necessary, but out of the 4 Chaos Gods, that's the one I like. And the stream gets age restricted. Yeah, Cyber Scorpio, but with the price of a perfect grade kit, that will get you started with like a small basic Warhammer army, and then you'll have to buy more to get it to like the tournament size list. Which infantry do you like the look of better? The dual wielding sword ones or the spear shield ones? Definitely having an easier time painting the sword ones. You know, they're mostly the same. If anyone's gonna age restrict a stream, it's Slaanesh Bow. Oh, that high-grade Moon Gundam, I hear that's a good one. My favorite grade? I don't don't know if I could pick between high grade and master grade. Master grade has like the coolest range of models, but high grade might be my favorite to customize. Just because they're more of a blank canvas sometimes. Yeah, the spear and shield ones are like, it's hard to deny the coolness of the shield design. Sorry, the longer the stream goes, the less talking energy I have. My batteries and the reserves have to go to the gold trim painting a bit more now. Oh, we're almost at 3 hours though. Still no master grade. Sorry to hear that. The gunpla shortages, just like many commodities in the world, are suffering from supply chain issues. It's hard to do anything about, but it's definitely frustrating. I've been waiting for Gundam Epion. I ordered for a long time. I'll keep waiting though. Those wing kits, they'll come eventually. They always do. Oh, messed up that red bit. Well, hopefully, Bo and Ethan, with your continued support of your stores, they'll get confident enough to stock some master grades eventually. Okay, I'm gonna paint until the gold on this is done, which is the 5th one out of 8, so then next time I paint, whether that's on stream or not, I'll just have 3 more to do in the gold before we start cleaning up all the mistakes. Almost a little too watered down there. Almost. Give him a gold shoe. Blind the opponent. Yeah, current political issues is one way to put it. If we really want to fix the problem, we gotta go back to something that's different from what we had before COVID. That's the real challenge. Man, isn't this an enjoyable molten gold texture there? Yeah, there's a mold line there I could have scraped earlier. Oh well. It's not that bad. Or it's not like a super noticeable one. How about you all? Are you getting tired of the gold yet? I feel like about 2.5 hours of the stream has been gold, probably. I'll definitely need a break after this sword, boy. A break from gold. Oh, I imagine there's several cargo ships off the coast of Long Beach waiting. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to come up with a solution in this humble mini painting stream. Wrong YouTube channel for that stuff. Have y'all heard or been watching long enough to hear any songs repeat the background music yet? I think the loop I have for that is somewhere between an hour and a half and 2. Can't remember though. And of course, when I start the stream, it's not always at like this exact start position for the music. And so far, this entire stream has been bot free, which has been great. I haven't had to block anyone or report anyone. Oyasumi Nasai Robert-san. My accent on that Japanese was probably really egregious. I'll never pass for a Japanese person, so no point in hiding the accent. I wouldn't want people to think I'm fluent or anything. Alright, probably be the last dollop I put on the pallet. And the timing should work out just fine. And we're brewing some sparkly gold green juice right now. Goldschlager Mountain Dew, perhaps. Sorry, my voice is getting a little hoarse. I'm just letting the background music do the work for this last stretch of painting. But if anyone has any burning questions they need to get out before the end of the stream, now's your moment. I was thinking of doing or I couldn't decide what I wanted to do in terms of a Q&A video. I'm like, well, I'm at 10,000 subscribers now. Do I do it now? Or do I wait till 20,000, 25,000, or 5,000, or 50,000? Do I do it as a video, or do I do it just like a live stream? I'll come up with something eventually. The longer I wait, the higher the milestone number gets to be, I guess. When I'm done painting all the remaining work in progress Skorne I have, can be a good excuse to do a big photo shoot of the whole army on the table, and it's gonna be satisfying. Still got 3 cavalry models and 1 character infantry. After this batch of 8 infantry are done, I think that's it. Those are ones I'll spend more time working on the details and doing some more shading. Nothing crazy, but slightly more effort than how I'm treating these infantry. Oh, I don't know how many models exactly. Let me think. Definitely over 100. maybe close to 200 models in my Skorne army. And oh no, there's probably like around 120 infantry models, and then, you know, a lot of medium and large base ones. I've got 2 huge base models. Yeah, it's got like 2 what you'd call centerpiece models. One of them's like a big rock statue warrior. The other one's like a commander dude riding a big like rhino war beast. They're pretty cool. They make good centerpiece models, if I do say so myself. And then there's some centerpiece models that are on the slightly smaller bases, depending on what army list I'm running. Not that I've played any games recently. The meta is way different now, I think. When I stopped using Facebook, I stopped communicating as much with the local gaming group. I think my gaming vibe these days is more to just like play with friends at home when I can, or just meet up at the game store for a casual game. I'm not missing the tournament playing days that much. They were fun, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm more just want casual games these days. Alright, the gold on him is pretty much done. We're at 3 hours and 3 minutes, basically. And I'm pretty tired, so gonna wrap up this stream. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm gonna schedule another stream, which will either be with these or some other project if I don't feel like painting the gold. So stay tuned for that. The stream will probably just one weeknight this week, or maybe next Friday. We'll see. Just, you know, stay tuned on my social medias and the YouTube page, and you'll find out when that gets scheduled. And thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time.